Questions about national security and the economy both loom very large on the second day of 2010. So to help us look ahead in the new year, we are joined tonight in Washington by our political analyst, John Dickerson. Well, here in New York, we have Lakshman Achuthan, Managing Director of the Economics Cycle Research Institute. Gentlemen, good evening to both of you. John, let's start with you in Washington. The president returns from his vacation in Hawaii, ostensibly to deal with the systemic failures, what he calls, in the system that led to the Christmas Day terror attack. What can he do on that front?
In the coming weeks, what he'll be trying to do is much what he did today in his weekly address, which is, one, say that protecting the American people is his first job. Two, that he's on the case, that he's ordered these reviews of the terrorist watch system and of airline safety more broadly, and then he's going to hold people to account if there are mistakes. And then he makes two political points, one of which is that he, since coming into office, has been focused on Islamic terrorism and on al-Qaeda, and that the previous administration was too focused on Iraq. And then he switches and says, well, my opponents should not try to score political points, that we all need to gather together in a sense of unity, just like the kind that prevailed 8 years ago after the attacks of 9/11. And
then politically, he has to deal with the midterm elections coming up and also the economy. So, Lakshman, let me ask you about that. Right. Some promising signs, the stock market up 60% from its bottom, which is a big improvement, but the unemployment rate's still at 10%. Economically, how do things shake out?
Well, everybody who's been questioning the recovery, is it real, has been saying, show me the jobs. And in the next few months, you will see headline jobs growth appear. Already we see the service sector, where most of us work, creating tens of thousands of jobs a month. This will persist into the first half of the coming year. That is the good news. The bad news is that in order to fully recover what we lost during the recession, it would take an expansion of almost 10 years. And the likelihood of that happening is pretty low.
John, let me ask you about the political cycles in Washington. What can the president do realistically to jumpstart job growth?
Well, there's not a whole lot he can do to move this enormous economy. The first thing he's got to do is get health care out of the way, passed through both houses. Now the bill's got to be reconciled. He's got to sign it. Then he can try and get some of these economic measures through Congress. He wants to extend loans to small businesses, some tax breaks for small businesses. He's also supported the $174 billion House plan for extending unemployment insurance and also investment in states. And so he's trying to do everything he can to show that he's on the case here with respect to the economy. But basically, he's still hostage to the business cycle.
Right. Lakshman, and talking more about that, the foreclosure situation just keeps getting worse. Moody's publishing a prediction that 2.4 million homes will be lost to foreclosure in 2010. That's a 40% jump over 2009. Does the housing market keep the economy in the dumps?
Well, it keeps it from gathering a stronger head of steam. I think if we step back, we can see that the home price decline has bottomed. It doesn't look like there's another huge leg down. However, with all these foreclosures still coming in the door, as it were, the chance for the housing sector to drive the economy stronger and stronger is quite low. It's not going to happen.
Okay, Lakshman here in New York and John in Washington, our soothsayers. We appreciate both your time. Happy New Year to both of you.